A massive political shift in Fort Bend County. County Judge K.P. George announced this morning that he is no longer a Democrat and he is joining the Republican Party. This all comes as George is facing criminal charges after being indicted by the citizens of Fort Bend County on misdemeanor and felony crimes. 2 Investigates Mario Diaz was front and center as George announced that he is no longer a Democrat. And Mario, I got to ask you, what's the reason for this sudden announcement?
Daniela, 2 key reasons stand out according to George. His beliefs, he says, are more in tune with Republican values, and he adds that the Democratic Party and the Democratic District Attorney of Fort Bend County have targeted him. Now, it was back in April that 2 Investigates was the only Houston media outlet to capture George as he walked into the Fort Bend County Jail to turn himself in on felony money laundering charges. You can see George didn't want to talk to me that day. Well, this was part of the fallout into the investigation of his former Chief of Staff, Terrell Patel, and the social media case that has generated headlines not only here in our area but nationwide. Patel pleaded guilty in that misrepresentation of identity case and also admitted in court records that he committed a criminal offense with George. George is facing a misdemeanor charge similar to what Patel pleaded guilty to for that case. However, George says his decision to be a Democrat during his political career overall was a mistake. This is U.S. Representative Troy Nehls spoke exclusively with me after the announcement.
I came to this country as an adult, and I am not born and raised neither Republican nor Democrat. And I choose a side, and it turned out to be the wrong place, and I'm fixing it. And that's what I'm doing today, and I want you to know that.
I think the Democrats are done with him. I think they've kind of pretty much pushed him off into the deep water. So now he's just trying to find a life vest, so to speak. And if he thinks the Republican Party is there to save him with all of his legal issues, it's not going to happen.
Today's announcement does give Republicans an advantage of 3-2 in Commissioner's Court. But keep in mind, George is facing criminal charges because of the Patel investigation in which he targeted County Commissioner Andy Myers, a Republican. George supported Patel against Myers, and Myers, smelling that something wasn't right with all of these targeted attacks against him on social media, felt that something was completely off here, which resulted in the investigation and George ultimately being arrested.
Judge George, what's your relationship like with Commissioner Myers? You indicated you have a 3-2 advantage now.
I work very well with Commissioner Myers because he is another conservative member on that court. And we have differences where we have agreements. That's how it works.
Do you view him any differently because of the fact that his complaints is what led to you being indicted?
I don't see. He is a commissioner. He have the full right to do whatever he wanted to do as a court member, and we always respect each other. Whatever the decisions they make, and I respect him and he respects me. And that's the relation.
Is it awkward?
No, absolutely not. We have no problem. We have no problem working together. No, whatsoever.
Now tonight at 10, my colleague Corley Peel will have more reaction to George's change in parties, including comments from residents that he represents in Fort Bend County. Live in the newsroom, Mario Diaz, KPRC 2 News.